Hello everybody. Today in this video we are going to dive deep into one of the simplest yet most powerful pieces of Microsoft Fabric Data Factory, and that is copy job. So if you have ever felt like moving data from a particular source to a particular destination, it should be easy and it should not feel like the rocket science. Then good news, Fabric has provided with you with an option with which you can perform the copy activity from your data source to the data destination very easily. So for that, copy job is going to be your lift and shift buddy. So you can use it to point it to the data source, point it to the destination. You can sprinkle some mapping on top of it, hit run, and boom, your data will start flowing like a charm. So what exactly this copy job is? So copy job is basically your Fabric's optimized data movement engine. So you can think of it like, hey, just bring me this data. And copy job says, here you go. So it supports multiple your data destinations and data sources, like you have the lakehouse, data warehouse, Azure SQL, SQL Server, Blob, ADLS Gen 2, S3, and a whole buffet of connectors. So behind the scene, your Fabric uses distributed auto scale engine, so you never have to worry about provisioning compute. It just works, right? So here you can see some of the advantages of copy job over other data movement methods. For instance, it's easy to use, it's easy to set up and monitor the data copying with a simple guided experience. So you get a separate experience for working with this copy job. uh, Over here you can perform a copy of only the new and changed data as well, so it do supports your change data capture. It's flexible where you can choose which data to move, you can map columns, you can set how your data is written and schedule jobs to run once or regularly. Plus, it provides you the high performance for moving large amounts of data quickly and reliably. So you can read about this copy job in more detail from this particular section that will be adding up down below within the description. So, in which scenarios you should use a copy job? So, copy job, unlike your pipeline, it's completely separate from your pipeline, but you can add it as an activity just like you add data flows or notebooks as an activity within the pipeline, right? So, it's a complete separate your Fabric item provided to you by Fabric. So, for instance, here you can see I can click on new item, and for over here I can create a copy job, or I can create a separate pipeline, and with the pipeline I can add copy job as an activity. So once my pipeline gets created, so here you can see that I will start with the copy data assistance, and now by default the pipeline uses copy job instead of copy data activity as a guided assistance. So over here now you can select your data source. So here you have multiple options available, like we have the SQL Server database, your IBM DB2, PostgreSQL, Snowflake, Azure, FTP, SFTP, and multiple data sources connectors are available. But for our demonstration purpose, we will go with the sample data, that is NYC data. So here you can see the amount of data that it is having. So here this NYC is almost 2 GB of data. So it will take good amount of time. I'll click on now next. Now once we have selected the data source, now I'm going to select the data destination. Now since the lake house is already available, so I'm going to select my existing lake house, or you can create a new lake house also. So I'll go to the one lake catalog, and over here let me filter my lake house. Let me check once. Or let's create a new lake house. So here I'll say lake house. So it's already there. So let me choose it as lake house 2. Create and connect. And now I will click on connect here. So here you can see we are getting two options. One is full copy, another one is incremental copy. So full copy, as you know, every time that it's going to execute, it will copy all the data from your source to your destination. And while the incremental copy, it's going to first copy everything, and in the subsequent runs, it's going to copy only the new or changed data since the last run. Now, since my this particular NYC sample data set, it doesn't supports incremental copy because that particular data in column that is required for performing the incremental copy is not available. So it's disabled for me. So let's select the full copy for our demonstrations as of now. And now you get the options to map it to either a file or you can map it to a table. So if you select to map it to a file, so you have the option to select the copy behavior, how you want to get the data, whether you want to copy it by flattening the hierarchy, whether you want to merge the files, whether you want to preserve the same folder hierarchy while you are copying from the data source. The file format, Microsoft recommends to always save it in a Paki format to get the benefits of the one lake optimizations. And compression type, you can select anyone, and you can use V-order optimization for optimizing the reading performance. And then here you can also map it to the table. So I'm going to use table as my mapping destination, and within the table you get the options to edit the update method. You can use it as append or overwrite, or you can make use of the merge option. So I'll click on back over here, and now here I can even perform some table mapping. So from here you can rename the table, and from here you can edit the column mapping. So for instance, from here you can select all the columns, you can add a new column, you can import the schema, or from here you can change the data type also, or you can even enable the partitioning if you want. So I'll click on next over here, and then I'll say save. So now here notice that my copy job is getting created at the backend, and it has got added as an activity within my pipeline. So let me save it. Okay, so first I think we need to make a connection. So let's add the connection over here. So copy job is already selected and we are good to go. And let me show you how this copy job looks like, its interface. So let me go back to my data engineering workspace, and in the workspace here I have this copy job which got created as a part of an activity in the pipeline, and notice it has got its own interface. So from here you can execute this copy job separately, you can edit the mapping, you have got some advanced settings, you can change to append, overwrite and merge. From here you can view the run history, you are able to view the number of rows read, written, and what's the throughput, right? So here, so you can go back to the pipeline and you can validate and you can execute it. So depending upon the amount of data set that you are ingesting from your data source, it will take that much time accordingly to copy the data. So here let me show you, I have already created this copy activity or copy job activity in the pipeline in my separate account. So let me switch. So here notice that this is the same copy job I have already created with my previous account, and it's still running, and it's running from around 1 hour. So the data set was of 2 gigabytes, so it's a huge amounts of data and it's taking a lot of time. So I want to monitor whether it's working, and if it is working, how much time will it further take. So what you can do, either you can simply click on you can simply check your where under the home tab. So from here also you can view it, but it simply shows that whether it is in progress or not. But I want to see in detail, right? So I can click on the activity name over here in the output section just below, and when you click on it, here you can see we have got the duration, run ID, artifact ID, status, start time, end time, the code response, monitoring URL as well. So let's click on this monitoring URL to see what's there. So I will simply sign in into my account. to notice how much of data has been read and written. So notice here, so here we are getting the duration 1 hour 80 minutes, so it's quite good amount of time. Now here, so to reach here you need to click over here, which is this NYC TLC green activity kind. So I'll click over here and notice here I am able to see that how much data is read, how much data is written. So from the past 1 hour, so it has read 41 files and it has written 33 files. And this is the throughput. So here you can see, you can watch the throughput in real time, right? So that's how your copy job actually is working behind the scene, and you are able to monitor the details of your copy job as well. So I think it must take another couple of 5 to 10 or 15 minutes to complete its data application from your data source to my destination, which is the lake house. So what makes your copy job extremely special? So you can use this copy job when you need to move data quickly without spinning up the pipeline, notebooks, or your Spark jobs. So it's typically used to ingest the files from your ADLS to your lakehouse, or to copy your tables into your Fabric warehouse, or to quickly move your data from particular data source to your one lake environment, right? So it's basically used to quickly load your data to prepare your environment. That's it. And again, the regarding the billing part over here, so that you will be also able to check within the official documentation regarding the pricing. So here we do have the pricing option as well. Copy job activity run options. Yes, so you can see pricing copy job. So if we open this link, so notice here that for the full copy it takes same 1.5 capacity unit per hour for per copy job item. That's same for your copy activity. And for the incremental copy it takes 3 capacity unit per hour per copy job. Okay, so here you can see that our copy job has been executed successfully, and here you can notice the number of files read and the number of files written, the amount of data read, the amount of data written, that is 2.76 gigabytes from our source. So the sample data set, it was located within the Azure blob storage within our destination, that is Lakehouse inside the Microsoft Fabric. So you can close this. So from here I can refresh my status. I can see that my copy job has been executed, and from here also I can go back to my data engineering workspace and notice that here I have this copy job that has been executed. And notice the amount of your time duration it took. So it took around 2 hours, 1 hour 57 minutes and 25 seconds. And this is the throughput that it is displaying. Now once you have added this copy job, you have created it, you can add it as an activity within the pipeline. So after you have ingested the data, if you want to perform some transformation on top of the data using the data flow, so you can further proceed with that as well. That's it. Thank you.